And we're going to begin with Josie. Josie's question is, my daughter invited me to help her organize and go to dinner to celebrate Mother's Day dinner. I helped and she canceled dinner. Then she asked if I wanted to celebrate my birthday with dinner. And I said yes, but it's been a month and I've heard nothing. I'm wondering if I should tell her it doesn't feel good, since she is somewhat estranged. Josie, what is your main intention in the next conversation that you want to have with your daughter? What is the main thing that you're wanting to get from that conversation?
To be seen and known.
Okay, great. So if your need is to be seen and known by her, and you were to say, blah, blah, blah happened, here's how it lives in me, and it doesn't feel good, what would she say or do next that would lead you to feeling seen and known?
Usually Becky will say, oh, sorry, Mom, or she might go the other way and be defensive and say, just because I haven't mentioned it yet doesn't mean I'm not going to. So the reasons I want to bring it up is I don't want to keep doing this. Pause, right? Pause. And she did it this time.
Wait, Josie, pause for a second. When you say, I don't want to keep doing this, what is it that you don't want to keep doing?
I don't want her to invite me to dinner for Mother's Day.
Pause again, because I just want to point it out. I want to slow it down, so I'm going to keep interrupting you. So let me know if it feels bad, but it's just to slow it down so we can get at the pieces.
Sure.
When you say, I don't want her, what that tells me is I need her to be different. I see my well-being in this relationship as being dependent on her doing things differently. And I really want to give her feedback on all the things she's doing that I don't like, that don't feel good, so that she will change so that I can feel different. So
yes. Well, I understand exactly what you're saying. And the rest of the sentence really pointed to me. I didn't want to have this happen and me keep pretending like it's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'll keep saying yes. Do you see what I'm saying? I want her to know that it's not okay with me for me to keep saying yes because it doesn't feel good. Great. It's not okay for me to keep pretending it's fine.
Yes. So you would like to show up with more integrity and more authenticity about what's real for you.
Exactly.
Okay. So then we're going to work on just honest self-expression that leaves her out of it.
Okay.
So part of what it sounds like you're trying to get clear on is giving yourself permission to say no. Is that true or no?
She invites me. It feels like I'm giving up hope that it might actually happen. I hear what you're saying. I guess what I want to say no to is I would love it if you really don't want to do it, please don't invite me.
Again, you're putting the onus for change on her, which is fine.
But yes, and it is okay to make that request, right? I would love it if...
Let's play with that. What is the request you would want to make from her?
Becky, I noticed the last 2 times that we made a plan to celebrate me. You canceled or didn't follow through. And that was sad for me. And I'd love it if there's a way to think through what really feels good to you, what you really want to do.
Okay, pause for a minute.
Yeah.
I can see where you're going. And I think what's happening is you're jumping to too many pieces too quickly. I would recommend slowing it down and gathering more data first. And I think it sounds a little bit like this.
Okay.
Neutral observation. Remember when you asked if I wanted to celebrate a birthday dinner and I said yes, and we haven't done it yet. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is my neutral observation. Here are the facts of what happened, right? Hey, I'm remembering you invited me to a dinner and I'm noticing we haven't scheduled it yet. That's the neutral observation. I'm curious. I want to know what's going on. I have a need for some information, because in that moment, you're not sure how to interpret that. And without knowing what's happening, you're going to come up with all kinds of theories. Your theories might be, I don't matter to her. She didn't really want to do it. She went through the performance of asking, but she doesn't really want to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, your mind's going to generate a whole bunch of stories that we don't know what's true there. And so that's where we want to slow it down. So I want to find out what's stimulating my activation around this. What am I not enjoying around this? What is the exact thing that happened or didn't happen? And I start with, this thing happened. I notice what's happening for me is I'm generating all kinds of stories about it. Like, I don't matter to you. You don't care. You don't really want to do it. You're inviting me to things you don't want to follow through on. All kinds of stories are happening in me. And before I run away with any of them, I want to loop back to you. What's going on? Are you super busy? Can you give me some information? How should I interpret this? Now you're creating room for her to co-create the rest of the conversation with you. And you're going to get some information. Now, you probably know, Josie, the most likely thing she's going to say. So tell me what that is.
Oh, yeah, I just haven't had time.
Great. Now I'm going to say, if I'm in Josie's position, I'm going to say, thank you for letting me know that. That's super helpful. So it seems to me like you're really busy and it's difficult for you to find a time to fit me in. Is that true? You're going to receive it. You're going to say it back in the way that it's living in you, and you're going to ask for confirmation before you go any further. Is that true? Is it difficult to fit me in? And what might she say to that?
I mean, I went to Paris. I got home. I had to catch up at work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And why are you like being so impatient with me, Mom?
Yeah, it sounds like, so now I'm going to empathize with her. Yeah, it sounds like you have this going on and this going on and this going on. And it also sounds like you'd really like some understanding and patience from me, given everything going on in your life. Is that true? So I'm going to slow down and receive her. I'm going to leave myself out of it for right now.
Okay.
Because I don't want her avoiding me. I don't want her to have a negative experience with me that she's going to start avoiding me again. I have a need. I think you said you have a need to be seen and known. She probably has the same need. So I'm going to start offering the thing that I'm wanting. I'm going to see and know her. Yeah, you're really busy. You'd like some understanding from me. Are you feeling a little bit of urgency and pressure when I bring it up? Are there some demands you're putting on yourself that you have to do it? Are you imagining that I'm criticizing you because I probably did many other times in your life? Or I am, if it's true, I am, then I'm going to own it so we can work with what's real, right?
Right.
Then I'm going to make it really safe for her to just tell me the truth about what's going on for her.
Okay.
And when she feels like, yeah, exactly, I just want you to give me some time. I don't want you hounding me about these, whatever she says. Got it. Thanks for letting me know that. You want some space. You want to do it on your own terms. You want some understanding that you're really busy. I'm glad I'm asking the question because it helps me get clear about what's going on. When she's felt like, yeah, Mom, you get it, then I might say, I think one of the reasons I'm bringing it up is when I hear all of this, here's the inner conflict, honey, that happens for me. It's helpful to know that you're busy and you're juggling many things. That actually brings up some generosity and compassion for me because I get it. I know what it's like. I've been there. I know what it's like when you have everybody pulling at you from every angle. As mom, I also notice that I have a longing to spend some time with you, and I am really looking forward to celebrating. And when you don't look back to me, I feel a little sad and disappointed because you matter to me, not because you're doing it wrong, because you're inconsiderate, because you're not following through, because you're giving me mixed messages, not what's wrong with her. You matter to me. I really want to have a good relationship with you. I value the time we spend together. Is there anything that I could do to get more time with you that would feel good to both of us and that doesn't feel like an imposition in an already full and busy schedule? Because that's what I'm really longing for. What do you think about that, dear daughter? What do you think she's going to do with that?
I'm not sure. And I love the care that you're showing me, how I can show more care. I still don't feel seen or known for the pain that she's causing me. And there's part of me that wants her to know that her treatment of me is painful. On Mother's Day, when I offer to come and help her organize, and she says, oh, that would be fun, and we'll go to dinner and celebrate Mother's Day, and I do the organizing, and she says, yeah, I don't want to do dinner. I'm just going to go mow the grass. And I just said, okay. And I walked and I kissed her and I walked out the door.
Okay, so pause right there. Pause right there. So in that moment, let's play with that moment right there. I'm going to be your daughter, okay? Tell me what you just told me. And let's pretend I'm your daughter right now and I'll receive it for you differently.
So Becky, on Mother's Day, I offered to help you organize and you said, oh, that would be really fun. And then we'll go to dinner and celebrate Mother's Day. And I was really looking forward to that. But when I finished organizing, you canceled dinner so you could go mow the grass. And I felt really sad.
Yeah.
And I interpreted that as I didn't matter as much as organizing.
Yeah. So in that moment when I canceled it because I had these things to do, thanks for letting me know. It sounds like you were sad and disappointed and you wanted to make sure that you're important to me. Is that right?
Yes. And she would never in a million years say that, but Okay, we can role play it and pretend.
What's it like to imagine her saying?
Oh, it would just be so sweet.
Have you asked for it that directly?
From Becky?
Yes.
No, but I could. Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know. We can play with it. Sometimes people don't do that because they've just never thought of it and they don't know that that would help. And this is why the fourth distinction in nonviolent communication can be so powerful when we ask for what we want. So if I say, hey, I was just feeling, when I heard you go and mow the lawn, I was taking it really personally and I was feeling sad and disappointed and I was worried that I don't matter. And the thing that would really help me right now is if you could just give me a hug and tell me that, of course, I matter to you. I think that would really go a long way. But I only want you to do that if that feels true, is it? Could you? You help other people help you. Here's the key. When our feelings are hurt or we're feeling sad and disappointed, let me tell you one of the very common traps. We go to the other person and we tell them what they did and how we felt, and we stop the conversation there. When we do that, what we're implicitly saying is, you are responsible for my feelings. I don't like the way that you show up and the way you make me feel. I'm showing you how mean you are and how inconsiderate you are, and I need you to be different so that I can feel different. When that's the thing that's inadvertently or overtly being conveyed, it's not going to inspire open-hearted generosity, which is what we're actually wanting. So what we want to be able to do is talk about the impact something has had on us with a pathway to what would help. Something present moment, observable, behavioral that person can say or do in this moment that would help. And we also bring our subjective experience and the impact that something has had on us with as much self-responsibility as possible, while naming and understanding this thing that somebody else did. My daughter choosing to mow the lawn is a neutral event. The meaning I made of it, which is mowing the lawn is more important than me, that's my interpretive system. And it's my interpretive system that's leading to my hurt feelings. I want to start weaving more connection with another person. In the early stages, what we're doing is we're building awareness, and we want the awareness to be non-accusatory, non-judgmental awareness, so that we can just begin seeing together what's going on. And then the second thing that we want to do is we want to give other people a pathway to what would help and what would make things better, because we don't want to stimulate their shame or their defensive, because that's going to lock down the care we're looking for. It's going to make it very hard for them to see and know us if they are shutting down. Right. And because you were saying you have a desire to really be seen and known. I think you also have a desire to matter and to have experiences of being wanted and valued and enjoyed. Are any of those fitting for you, Josie, or no?
Yeah, yes. I get it. I hear you. I have to go into my corner and lick my own wounds and give myself empathy. And so that I'm not looking for that from her, because she's not capable of giving it to me right now. At least that's been true historically. So I'm wondering if I should not mention that this is kind of a pattern. She did it Mother's Day. She did it when I had my knee surgery. Just because I haven't helped now doesn't mean I'm not going to. Well, it's been 2 months and she's offered 0. So
yeah, when I see a pattern,
just don't bring those things. Don't bring that up, or no?
It depends. When I see a pattern of behavior and I see a pattern of responses happening in me, I like to remember that behavior is code for what I don't know how to say. Behavior is communication. I can't say it explicitly. I can't say it directly. I don't have the language to say it, or I'm not willing to say it. So I act it out. So what I want to do when I think somebody is conveying something to me and I'm beginning to take it in a certain way, the first thing that I want to check out is whether my interpretation is in alignment with their intention, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And the way that I do that is I bring them a neutral observation. Hey, I'm noticing a pattern. I want to check it out with you. Remember, we were going to do a Mother's Day dinner and then we never did it. And then we were going to go out for my birthday and that hasn't happened. And remember do you see the pattern I'm talking about? I'm going to bring that non-judgmentally, lay it out. First, I need shared reality with the other person so that they know what we're talking about. How do you want me to interpret that is the next question. What is going on for you? What are you wanting to communicate to me with that. Because the next thing we're doing is we're just building awareness, and we're letting the other person be the expert on who they are, instead of projecting all of our fears and accusations onto them, and then leading the conversation from the negative story that we've made up that might be true, but might not be true. We want to slow it down. So I'm going to involve the other person in the process. How do I interpret that? And if they're like, I don't know, I've just been busy. Okay, great. I said, because, and then you can say, because a part of me is beginning to take it really personally. It's beginning to feel to me like you're trying to communicate to me that you think you should do these things. So you make the invitation, but you don't really want to do them. And so they never actually happen. To what degree could that also be happening? Is there any truth in that as well? I want to create conditions in my relationships where people feel like it's safe to tell me the truth about what's happening for them. Now, if I'm going to be reactive to that, and I'm going to make it all about me, and I'm not going to be able to hear what they're saying, or I'm going to object, or I'm going to try and change them, they're going to continue to give me their defensiveness, because that's exactly what they're trying to avoid. So then I need to be able to show up in a way that I can ask for the truth and I can handle the truth. I don't have to like the truth, but I want to have relationships with people based on what is true. And if my daughter then says to me, listen, yeah, mom, that's kind of true. I mean, it's kind of awkward when we go out for meals, or I feel bad because I feel like I should take you out, but I'm super busy. Now we can have a real conversation about what's really going on, but I need to be a safe person to have that conversation with. If I want that information from the other person, they need to not experience retaliation or punishment for telling me the truth about what's happening for them. And then to your point earlier, Josie, I loved what you said when you're like, I need to go into my corner. I'm like, if you want me to give you lots of empathy right now, we can do a little bit of that right now. And yes, fill out with some empathy on how hard this is, and the longing you have, and the loneliness you're feeling, and this desire for your daughter to value you and have you be mattering to her in a way that's different. Like, that makes so much sense to me. And yeah, you do need a lot of empathy for that. How's all of this landing?
This last part is so helpful because it is a pattern.
Mm.
She doesn't tell the truth a lot, and I think this would really help her and me, both of us, get a little more honest about what's really going on in a way that's safe. And yes, thank you for the empathy. That's exactly how I feel. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking. And I've been doing backflips, trying to be so supportive and generous and kind and not demanding at all. I've probably gone to the other extreme with that, right? Like when she said, you know what, I don't want to do dinner. I'm just going to go mow the lawn. Oh, my heart fell. But I didn't give myself the freedom to say, oh, Becky, that's really sad to me. I didn't let myself be human because I'm like, don't put any pressure on this child. Yeah. You just have to repair. Let her know she has all the freedom in the world to treat you like shit, by the way.
Love that. No, not to treat you like shit. That's not.
But that's kind of what I communicated by saying, yeah. Okay, you're walking out the door. So that's what I want to stop. I want to stop pretending that it's fine for me, for you to treat me.
So I want to point out something just so you can install this one little piece. You're telling me right now, I want to start seeing and knowing me and giving myself permission to be seen and known by me and then by other people as well. And that the first step to your daughter seeing and knowing you is you giving yourself permission to see and know you. And that when she says, no, I think I'm going to mow the lawn, that you have the permission to say, oh, I'm really disappointed. I was really looking forward to spending time with you, instead of pretending that you're feeling something that you're not. Yeah, that reclaiming is really foundational. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I think I've taught her it doesn't matter because I don't matter. So yeah, this has been so helpful. Thank you, Yvette.
You're so welcome. Good luck. There's lots of complexity here and lots of bits and pieces, and just keep chipping away. Very often we get rigid and buffered when we're not willing to be sad, or we're not willing to feel how the loss of something, we buffer up against it. And so grief is a really, really important feeling to learn how to let it move through you. So good luck with that. Good.